You're watching the Battered Fans Network.
The heroes are back. Beards talking balls, rapping pink and black. Coming live from the 305, it's official tissue. The Batter Fan, Chris and Dan, weekly rocking with you. We talk Messi, Boosie, Jordy, Lucho, the Fat Four, to Ben Cram, Noah, Ruiz, Fred. What more could you ask for? Tighten up and get ready, listen in on the pod. Solana and X in Espanol, just to even the odds. Breakdowns and gas bagging, join the tribe and just vibe. $3.99, don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't hesitate, say what's up, go ahead and come in. No question about it, I'm ready to get hurt again.
No question about it, I am ready to get hurt again.
Chris, the Herons are back. Welcome, everybody. Jesus Christ, to episode number 351 of the Battle Herons podcast. I am your host, Dan Yuganada, and alongside me, as always, Mr. KBD. How are you doing, sir?
This was a good match. It was a fun match.
Yeah, I mean,
thank goodness it wasn't boring.
Whenever we have a bad run and we need a get me right game, let's invite the Red Bulls down to Miami.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because the Red Bulls just can't seem to handle Chase Stadium. That's 2 years in a row that we put. That's it. Well, it was a 6-2 last year, 4-1 today. That's 10-3 on aggregate. The last two times that Miami's played the Red Bulls on your birthday.
Yeah, it's been fantastic. We got to keep that going.
Absolutely. So a get right game. A lot of good. Some questions that I have, because I'm wondering if there was experiments being done, if this is something that we're going to see permanently. I have questions. This is going to be an interesting show because although 4-1 is a great win, and I'm glad to get off of that losing streak. There's some things that we need to talk with the chat, and I want the chat to jump in to see what they think, because it's going to be interesting to see what they think about today's performance, because it's good. It's good. I'll leave it at that. It's good. And we're gonna get into that.
I mean, and this brings it up, right? And shout out to Mr. Krabs for the Super Slam. It took losing to Vancouver for Mascherano to change things up. He's so indecisive. And look, Esteban Dito with a good point. Not enough fun match that will erase what happened in the semifinal debacle versus Vancouver.
And look, I've been as loud as anybody over the last couple of days about my disappointment with Mascherano. But I said we can't fire him. There's nobody to replace him. And it's too early. Although, obviously, we wanted the Champions Cup, and it seems like he kept trying to put in a square peg in a round hole. Maybe this is what it took. And, maybe he ends up figuring things out moving forward. Let's see. And like Jason now just said, you see what happens when Fafa and Bryce start. We're gonna get into that.
Oh my goodness. Yes, we're gonna get into all of that. We're gonna
get into that. But maybe this is the type of stuff that needs to happen for a young, inexperienced coach. Does that mean that all of a sudden I'm like, that's it, he's our guy? No. Right? Like when he got hired, I wasn't thrilled about it, but I said I'll give him a chance, right? What else am I gonna do? I've kind of fallen out of favor with things he's done. I'm a little unhappy, but he's what we have for the rest of the year. And I think that this might be something that kind of helps him turn the corner a little bit. Even though there was still some questionable things in the starting lineup and things of that nature. But before we get into that, Chris, just general thoughts.
General thoughts was it was a good game, fun game. He made a couple right decisions, and in terms of the starters. And I mean, I expected that we were going to win. I know a lot of people didn't, but I did.
Yeah. Well, I did see a lot of people saying that we're going to get cooked. I don't know why. I mean, I thought we would win also. I was a lot more cautious with my prediction just because I really didn't know who was going to play, if it was going to be rotation. I wasn't sure what was going to happen, but I thought that we would win today. I thought this was a get-right game because this was a get-right opponent at home.
Yes. And that's something that's going to be very important to get us moving in the right sort of direction for this month, because this month is packed.
And I see some people are bringing up Suarez. I'm really excited to talk about Suarez because Solana started bringing up Suarez in the Discord. He got really excited. I think his nipples got a little hard when he finally scored. I think the team started playing better once he got subbed off, but we'll get into that in a little bit also. But atmosphere. I think some people were worried that today it might be a little light at the stadium because everybody's kind of down on Miami right now. How are things looking in the stadium?
It was a little light. I'm not gonna lie to you. It felt lighter. I'll tell you, it felt lighter for this game than it did for the Vancouver. I mean, obviously, Vancouver is
Yeah, of
that was
course.
a big game.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
considering that it's a Wednesday game, like it felt light for a Saturday game, 7:00. I mean, the good thing is, I mean, I was gonna bring the hat now because everybody knows that they were giving the hat away. That's part of the atmosphere. The first, what is it, 10,000 people that go in, get a hat. You had to sign up for, and I don't know if there's anybody that's in the chat that was there today, that you had to get on to some like QR code and sign up for like Royal Caribbean something.
Oh, to get the hat?
Yes. So to get the hat, you had to, kind of like Florida Blue. Remember how you got to show the little screenshot? You had to do the same thing for that. And the first tent that I went to in Gate 1, they gave me this hat right here. It's really cool because right here on the beak it says
City of Icons on the
City of
brim.
Icons.
Okay.
Right? So here we have like the logo.
Oh, that's a nice hat.
A Heron, yep. And it's kind of like cheapy material here, to be honest.
You could tell on the screen that it looks a little. The material looks a little off, but the design is nice. That's a perfect
very cheapy
beach hat.
This is a very good beach hat, right? Like little shitty material that they use up front.
Because you don't want to mess up your real hats in the salt water or in the sand. But those are the perfect hats to take to the beach, which is the perfect hat to have here in Miami.
This is the Royal Caribbean logo. On the side over here, on the right side, they have the Inter Miami logo right there. And then in the back, just basic trucker hat deal.
That's nice. That's the perfect beach hat.
I do not, Mike V, I do not have 12. I literally almost got trampled getting these hats in the front gate. My kids, one of my kids looked like they almost got trampled. I had to take my kids out of the area to get these. Okay, so it was a mess to get it, but yes, I got a couple.
All right. Well, you should have let them know it was your birthday. Maybe they would have given you a couple extra.
I wish. I pushed people to the side for a rep to get in. And I'm like, hey, since I helped you out, can I get a hat? She's like, where are your kids? I'm like, you just passed them.
All right. Well, all right. So all good today. Nice hat given out. Even though you had to sign up for it technically, but nice hat. Good result. Atmosphere looked like it was pretty good. It looked like it was breezy out there. Was it breezy out there? The weather was nice.
It was nice. It started raining in the second in the end
I saw that.
Of the first half.
The first half, yeah.
And in the beginning of the second half, it was raining, but it was nice. It wasn't like hard rain. It was cool. You know,
even had a pitch invader. Cool. You had a little bit of everything today.
Yes, yeah. It was fun. It was fun stuff.
All right, so let's get to it. Starting 11.
So this starting 11, and I'll go through it. Ustadi on the bottom, and you had a surprise. Look, everybody thought there was going to be crazy rotation. But this time, he came out with guns. Jordi Alba left back, Wade Gant at the right back position starting. And I wore my
Can I say something real quick? Yes. And can I say something real quick? I still think Frey should be starting consistently. But I keep saying
Wade Gant
is a good player, man.
He's building
a good player. No, last game was a really bad game. That second leg against Vancouver, he was getting cooked by Ali Ahmed. But more times than not, Wade Gant has good games. Wade Gant is a good player. So just because I say Frey should start does not mean that when they say Cello starts, I'm like, it's not like when Redondo starts over Bright. When that happens, then I get upset because Bright should always be starting. But Cello, man, Cello is good. Frey's just better, but Cello is good also.
So and before I keep going with the starting lineup, Jason, no, good point here. There's skydivers that came down in parachutes with Red Bull parachutes. It was like a big Red Bull thing, right? Because Red Bull does extreme stuff.
Yeah, but why are we promoting the Red Bulls?
Well, remember, we're a sponsor. Red Bull's sponsor we're a sponsor with them.
Are we?
Yes, like a couple weeks ago, we announced something with sponsoring with Red Bulls. Yes. I promise you. I'm not lying.
No, I believe you. I just wish they would have done it on the game that we weren't playing against the Red Bulls.
It felt like it was purposely done, but like 4 skydivers came and the last guy came to give the game ball. So Maybe that was good luck. A skydiver.
I
Um, then we go with the center backs here. We had Noah Allen in at starting, and then Lujan at the starting center right back position. I mean, what are we doing there?
don't know what
Busquets
we're
and
doing
Bright.
there.
Yeah, Busquets and Bright, they started, and then you got Messi at the 10, Fafa left wing, Allende right wing, and Suarez up top as our lone striker starting.
I hate
And
that
look,
Lujan is starting.
Jason L says it was 4 skydivers for 4 goals.
There you go.
Jason, you are on one. Can you be our producer? You got to hit us up in the DMs. We need a producer.
So I'm really upset that Lujan started. I don't know why he keeps starting over Toto Aviles or getting playing time over Toto Aviles. Toto Aviles, in my opinion at least, is much better than Lujan. Lujan today didn't have a bad game, but the Red Bulls, the responsibility there is to shut down Forsberg, and that's all on Bright. Bright is the one that has that responsibility, and Bright was holding it down. Cello,
Yes, he was.
ready to start. Cello's still starting, but he plays well, so whatever. At least Bright got the start. I like that they put Fafa out wide because Segovia shouldn't be playing out wide, and we saw towards the latter part of the game why Segovia shouldn't be playing out wide. Allende, and then I thought Suarez should get a break. I thought he should finally hit the bench for a game, recharge that battery, like I was saying last episode. But he got to start, and he also scored. But I still would have preferred to see Obando out there because I think they got to start giving Suarez a break eventually. But I'm sure it's good for him, for his psyche, to finally get that goal.
I didn't like Lujan starting. I didn't like Wagon starting, but Wagon's building a case for himself.
Hey, but he's been solid, man. It's just like, it's like the Ustadi Drake thing. It's like, oh, we like Ustadi. Oh, Drake is terrible. It's like,
But
no, it doesn't have to be like that.
Let me tell you, I watching Ustadi on our end when I was watching him, dude, he is so good at passing the ball.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
it's
he is.
wild. It's just like the passing he does is astronomically better. Like he is a field player. So I understand a lot of frustration when it comes to people that hate on everybody saying, oh, well, Ustadi this, Ustadi that. Ustadi's good, man.
He is. And so is Cello.
And so is Cello.
Look, Cello was the man of the match other than Messi. The first leg of the LA, was it the LAFC? Or
Yes.
was it the Vancouver?
It was the
There was a
LAFC,
game.
I think.
I forgot, but there was a Champions Cup game where he played, where he by far and away the best player on the pitch outside of Messi. But Cello's had his good moments. All right, so starting 11 up top, Fafa starting out left wing. Were you surprised that Allende was still at right wing?
No, because I still for people not liking Allende, I like Allende for this team. Like I don't see the hate, or I don't see where the case is being built.
You just like pace. That's why you like Demerson.
No, but it's not. But he's not pacey. He's not like a pacey player.
Oh yeah, but he stretches the pitch for the field.
He does stretch the pitch. Yes, and he's not afraid to strike the ball. That's one of the problems that you have on this team is that when Messi has the ball, or if he doesn't have the ball, you have a lot of people that are looking for him.
People say that Allende is injured.
Well, apparently, yeah, that he got injured. That's why he got subbed off. So
right,
I like the starting lineup. I mean, it's for what it was against the Red Bulls recovery game. Yes.
Yeah, outside of Lujan, I was okay with the starting 11.
Yeah, I liked it. Just showing Stancy,
right.
I got a hat.
Nobody doubted that you were gonna get a hat. People were just wondering how many you're gonna get.
Yeah, people thought I was gonna walk away with pallets.
We've seen you at the stadium walking around with those clear backpacks full of shirts.
Listen, but you know,
he ain't got nothing to say.
I got nothing to say. Plead the fifth.
All right, recap.
Okay, so with the recap, this worked out just like how it worked out against Vancouver this past Wednesday. We end up scoring within the first 10 minutes of this match. In the 9th minute, Fafa gets a beautiful cross by Cello, your boy, which was very nice.
Speaking of which, I'm sorry, real quick. Somebody, I forget, somebody on the. I got a notification. I didn't open it, but I saw what the notification said while I was watching the game, and it said, when is the Cello shirt going to be up?" I'm going to put that Cello shirt finally up on the store because I thought Ian Frey would eventually become the starter. I'm going to put the Cello shirt up in the store, so look out for it. Like a half hour after the show's over, I'm going to have that Cello shirt up.
Yeah, and you guys got to get it. I'm going to get a jersey. I'm going to get a shirt just because of the
Throwing
simple
up his
fact
set.
that, yeah, of him throwing up his set. Like, whatever. So, and then look, Mike V says, I have one of those free Miami shirts on a Cuban mop. I mean, I still have some in the bags.
Those are my public shirts.
The pink
like
ones.
When I have to run out of the house real quick and I'm looking for a shirt, I just grab one of those.
Yeah, straight from the bag.
No, my wife wears them to the gym.
Okay.
All in her drawer, so I know that it's really quick. I just go to her drawer real quick. I just grab one, throw it on.
Just grab it and go. So we score in the first 10 minutes. Great cross by Cello to Fafa. Fafa gets a goal, and
they reviewed it.
And they were reviewing it to see for offsides, I believe.
They were checking to see if Allende was offside.
Yes, but he wasn't, right? Was it close? Because I didn't see if it was close.
No, one of the defender's legs kept him onside. I guess technically it was kind of close, but one of the defender's leg was clearly keeping him onside. Even though I was confused, and maybe somebody in the chat can smarten me up a little bit. I know when it's an extended play, they kind of go back to see if touches before, if when the play started, it was offside. But they won the possession back. Like, they got the ball back after the supposed what could have been an offside. They got the ball back. It's just that we pressed and we won the ball back again.
Yeah.
So I thought that was weird that they would check that, seeing as how we lost the ball. They had the ball back at that point. I feel like it's a brand new possession, in my opinion. So that was weird. But maybe somebody in the chat can smart me up. I guess it doesn't matter if the possession changes, and it can still be called back if it's still in that same area of the pitch, I guess. I don't know. But that caught me off guard. I thought that was weird.
I always thought that if it was a change of
possession, that's it.
Yeah. But
that's why that had me confused.
Yeah, and look, I mean, Soccer Daddy's saying 2 VAR reviews tried their best to cancel Miami goals. First one was reviewed and it was allowed.
Yeah.
Which was a great cross by Weigand. Very good offensive input by him. And then luckily about 20 minutes later. Now, by the way, just as I go through this game, just understand that to me, I felt like Red Bulls had so much more possession. Like, I don't know what the percentage was for the first half.
I'll tell you right now.
But the first half, it felt like they had 80% possession.
It was almost 50-50. Miami 52, Red Bulls 48. And in the second half, it was Miami 54, Red Bulls 46.
Wow. I felt like Red Bulls possessed the ball more. And I don't know.
No, it was I guess it was even.
Well, there was another goal on the 30th minute. So we had Cello that basically scored a Karate Kid sweep the leg score after attempting a header. I believe the cross came from Jordi Alba, if I'm not mistaken, or someone else. I'm not sure. I thought it was
Suarez.
It could have been Suarez. Maybe I'm wrong. But I know it came from one of the two, Jordi Alba or Luis Suarez. And it was a hell of a cross. Got the header.
Anybody else been having issues with Twitter? My Twitter hasn't worked all day.
No, I just used it like 5-10 minutes, like about 20 minutes, 30 minutes ago.
My Twitter hasn't been working all day. I was about to check to see if I can see the play over.
Listen, Rick A, I wanted to bring this play up specifically. By the way, Bright had amazing steals.
The cross was from Fafa, by the way.
Okay, so the cross was from Fafa. Ooh, a little back-to-back exchange, right? You had Fafa that received it, and then you also have Weigand, who ended up getting a goal. Look, Rick A, I wanted to bring this up. I do have a Bright complaint. There was a play where he recovered the ball and pushed up, and instead of taking him up himself, stop the attack to wait and pass it to Messi, like that. I believe you're talking about the second half. No, the first half.
Yeah,
It was the first half.
I think it was the second half.
Was
No,
it
they were
the
going
second
towards
half?
your side. No, it was
Yes.
going towards your side.
It was it was the first half, and I actually didn't mind it because Messi is a way better ball handler than Bright. Like Bright saw he got the beautiful steal, pushed it high enough. He's like, "This isn't my world here. I got to give it to Messi." I mean, you want to see him push it,
but I think we like that Bright is pushing the ball up a little more than he usually does, but that's still not his strength. Like, and at that point, we had a lot of players taking a while to get back into the attack. I think he was leading the transition at that point. I think, so, I mean, he's not that guy to lead a break. I think he had to at that point wait for Messi. I don't even think he was purposely waiting for Messi. I think he was just waiting for anybody. It was just, and it so happens to be Messi that pulled up to his left, because Yannick Bright isn't going to lead a counterattack on his own.
It's true. And look, he had a shit ton of space. Nothing but space.
I think he had a defender in front of him. If I'm I might be misremembering, but I remember thinking the same thing. Like, oh, what's he doing? That's what I was thinking. Like, oh, he's trying to lead the break. This isn't going to go well. And then he held it up until Messi came up. But maybe I'm misremembering. Maybe he did have more space than I remember.
Rohan, you're banned again, bro? Are you banned? Didn't we just unban you like a week ago? All right, we're gonna have to look into that. Rohan, what's going on, man? That's right. It was Asif that was banned. Sorry, guys. So, I mean, look, Mike V is saying here, but then he is right. I think Bright is pushing up more, and that's good. If he gets more offensive chops, he'll be unstoppable. Absolutely.
Yeah. Look, he's been doing it much more than – look, that was our complaint last year, and it wasn't so much a complaint, but we said that was his weakness, right? That's what Redondo had over him. But he's been kind of I don't want to say perfecting, right? Because that's a stretch. But he has been improving in that aspect of his game. Right, he's been working on it. You could tell that he's working on it. So I love that.
And that one was also reviewed, and after being reviewed, that one also was allowed. I felt kind of bad because they actually called it offsides fairly quickly, unlike the Fafa goal. So like Cello couldn't really celebrate, but he ended up getting the goal, which was great for him and his confidence. So far 2 goals very quickly, and then we'd run over. I don't know if I'm like blazing through this too quickly here.
No, go for it.
39th minute.
You skipped over one thing.
Yeah.
Yannick Bright, it was between the first and second goal. Yannick Bright got a yellow card in like the 12th or 13th
in the 15th minute. 14th
that I thought was crazy, the fact that they would call a yellow card on his first foul. Now, I get that there was a player trying to run into the box and he grabbed him by the shoulder.
Yeah.
But I still thought that like the first foul, I don't even think the player was anywhere near the ball. I thought that was wild to me. That they would give him a yellow so early, and I was worried that might change the way he played. Even though he's played on yellow cards and played decent in the past, I thought that was weak by the refs to give us a yellow or give him a yellow that early in the game off of his first foul.
There's got to be like a scouting report or something that these refs get.
Yeah, and the player was going to run into the box, and because he had gotten basically past Bright, but I don't know, a yellow. I don't know. I thought that was a bit much that early in the game.
It was, but I mean, look, I feel like these refs get like a scouting report, and Bright, I imagine, is one of those guys. Like Bright and Toto Aviles. Well, not anymore because Toto either hasn't been fouling people as much or hasn't played. I feel like those two guys are usually like suspect number 1 and 2 in terms of aggressiveness. So, but it's been good play. And then all of a sudden in the 39th minute, Luis Suarez ends up getting a smasher in. He tries with the right foot, gets blocked.
Mm-hmm.
And then he converts it with his left foot and then decides to go
sit right in front of you.
Yeah, well, he decides to smash his testicles right in front of us. I mean, I don't know if you were able to see me, but like,
no, I didn't see you, but I saw the way he landed. I don't know if he meant to do that on purpose or what, but that looked rough.
I think he ended up trying to like kind of kick up against it and bounce back because he wasn't trying to like stand on it, right? I think he tried to. I think he tried to like kick it and bounce back, but he overshot it because the grass is slippery, slipped and just nut job right onto the.
That looked right. I was like, he did not mean to do the way he landed. Like that was not on purpose.
Yeah, I mean, shout out to Christian with the CH with the super slam. Suarez smashed was his ball sack on the coping. Yes, and look, I give him a lot of credit, 5 stars for playing it off, unless he's got a cup on.
Maybe. All right.
And maybe look, Rohan say maybe he tried to reach me and wish me a happy birthday. So shout out to everybody. Yeah, shout out to everybody wishing me a happy birthday. It's really appreciated.
It was right by our seats. When I saw where he went, I was like, oh, look at that. He's like right in front of us. Or you.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking when I saw that.
I'm sure he was super, super happy about that. I mean, he needs
the last time
as
he
a
scored
striker.
was March 13th.
Yeah,
March 13th.
As a striker,
it's May 3rd. Almost 2 full months without a goal.
Well, I mean, look, it's also the fact that, like, look at how well he did last year. I'm sure he knows that he's fallen back a little bit. I'm not expecting him to, like...
Well,
yeah, go ahead.
Let's finish the first half before we go back and dissect this first half.
Okay.
I do want to talk about the first half.
So, Choupo-Moting ends up getting a goal in the 43rd minute.
I don't think he touched it. I don't think he got the credit for it.
Yeah, I mean, what's this guy? Sofa?
Sofo.
Yeah, he ended up getting the assist. I don't remember how that goal happened. I think I left it a little earlier to take my kids to the bathroom.
Oh, he did. Well, look, it was off of a corner. It landed on Sofo's head, and he headed it at such an angle that I don't think anybody expected it to land far post. But it kind of just slowly glided far post, and nobody really went for it because they just assumed it was going to go over the bar, and it landed right in. And I think as it was going in, I think it might have already been in, and then Choupo-Moting touched it.
Yeah.
And then he threw up his hands like, oh, crap, just in case they call me offside. But they didn't call offside, and from what I'm seeing here, it looks like they gave Sofo the credit for the goal because I think that Choupo-Moting touched it once it was already inside the goal. But it was a beautifully placed header.
And look, they were crossing the ball like crazy. So I'm actually surprised they didn't get more goals just based on how they were trying to open up the pitch. But we hit halftime. And we hit halftime with a score of 3-1. Inter Miami is leading. At this point, I felt great about the game. I said, this is in the bag. There's no way we're going to blow this. How did you feel?
After watching that first half, my thoughts, 3 goals, all coming from plays out wide. Who would have thought that after struggling to play up the middle, that if you increase the width and attack out wide, a little wider, that you might get some success? Like, who thought that?
Mind-blowing.
Mind-blowing. It wasn't just about every single person in our chat, us, and I think every single person that I've heard talk about Inter Miami over the last 2 months say, hey, we kind of know how you're playing. Everybody's defending you the same way. Use the wide areas. And it looked like they did. It looked like they were giving that's exactly how I felt, Dennis. No effing way that's going to work. But it did. Allende is the only one that seems to work out wide usually, right? Segovia doesn't really, right? He kind of just drifts into the center. But when you put Fafa in, he stays out wide. So you got your width with your wings now. You got Allende and Fafa.
Yes.
And they also gave Jordi Alba, which he gets it usually, right? And Chelo Wagon all the freedom in the world to push up. And they were pushing up high, like really high. And I think that helped also, which is why Chelo was contributing with the assist. He ended up with a headed goal. Like they were giving the fullbacks opportunities, which I think Ian Frey could really be a big part of, right? Because Ian Frey could also contribute in the attack. We assume that he is better than Chelo in that aspect, but Chelo also plays well. So I don't want to take any credit away from Chelo from today's game. But they started playing out wide. It works. Who would have fucking thought that?
There's got to be
That's what I was thinking at halftime.
there's got to be something that Ian Frey is he's not catching the either he's not catching the attention of Mascherano, or the total opposite. Wagon is doing something that's.
Is it possible that Wagon looks, because there's some players that look pretty good in practice, right? In different sports, like
that's what I was going to say.
And then when the lights come on, for some reason they take a step back. Like, is it possible that Chiller just looks better than him in training, and then we only see him on the pitch during the regular games that actually count, and we feel like, no, Frey looks better, and maybe Mascherano's, but consistently in training, Chiller looks better. Look, like I said, Chello's good when he's playing. I'm not like, oh no, we're doomed. I know some people hate on him. I don't think he's bad, but I do think Cello's better. I'm sorry, Frey's better, but I don't think Cello's bad, and I think that works against Frey, because I think that Bright, for example, looks so much better than Redondo that Mascherano has no choice.
I think that what the issue is that with Ian Frey, since he plays a little bit more offensively, maybe you tend to see as a manager more errors on his part versus Cello. That's why he always talks about Cello as very consistent. Very consistent. He always performs. He always does well when, with everything. Like Ian Frey is stellar in a lot of things, but maybe he sees more mistakes out of Frey.
I don't know what it is. Look, from what I've seen, I've always thought Frey looks better, but I've never thought Cello looks poor. Like, I've never understood the Cello hate.
Well, I mean, Christian is saying Cello's good. That's Danny from 2025.
That's the next shirt. Cello is good.
Cello is good. So halftime, you felt good then?
I felt good, and as far as Mascherano goes, I thought to myself, maybe this is what he needed. Maybe he needed this wake-up call, because all of a sudden we have like the worst loss in our recent history. Everybody's really, really down on the team, and he's like, okay, let me try to adapt. Let me try something different. Let me actually attack the wide areas. And look, literally 3 goals from 3 crosses, right? Whether they scored on the cross started the goal play. I guess is the best way I can say it.
Listen,
so go ahead.
And 2 times I saw, at least myself, Jordi Alba do that same cross that we had been waiting for him to do since last year, where he crosses it to Messi at the top of the box.
What's going on, Mr. Krabs? Mr. Krabs.
Yeah, Mr. Krabs, you're getting cringy, bro.
It's a little weird. So yes, at halftime I was feeling good. At no point did I think we were going to have a repeat of Dallas from last week with the 3-1 lead. I thought that they would keep this one. I was happy that they were playing out wide. I was hoping that we would see Obando at some point just to give Suarez some rest. We saw that. And then I was just curious to see what the subs would be like and what the team would look like.
Well, the second half, there wasn't much scoring except for the Messi goal. You want me to go through the substitutions from beginning to end before we talk about the Messi goal?
Yeah.
Okay. So starting the half, there was an immediate substitution. Segovia comes in for Allende. And apparently, everybody's saying, he's getting injured.
And Segovia started out wide.
And Segovia did end up starting wide. Yes.
He took over for Allende and he played out wide.
Yes, I think he stayed on the right side, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe so. And then I was not thrilled about that. But he went there. Allende, apparently everybody's saying that he got injured. Maybe that's why he subbed off.
Yeah.
But it ended up working out in the long run, because I think we finally got to see Segovia play a little better, because soon thereafter, in the 58th minute, you had Falcón come in for Wagon.
And you had Ben Cren come in for Suarez.
Right. And that's when I thought the game really... We had a 3-1 lead. But the 3-1 lead, we were playing out wide, but I wasn't necessarily thrilled. I was like, okay, we're playing out wide. That's great. But like, I still didn't think like, okay, this is the Red Bulls. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
When Suarez got, subbed off, I felt, and you guys can tell me if I'm right or wrong. I felt like it changed to like a 4-4-2. I felt like all of a sudden, Kremaki went out wide, Fafa went up top with Messi. Or no, you know what? It was like a 4-3-3, a 4-3-3 better yet, right? Because we had Segovia playing centrally. And then I felt like we had Messi playing in front of Segovia. And what I liked was that after Suarez got subbed off, all of a sudden, Segovia, I felt like had the best half hour of the season.
Yeah, had more freedom.
He's playing centrally. He's linking up with Messi left and right. He's linking up with Fafa, with everyone, with Busquets. Like if we could play a 4-3-3 and have Segovia as an 8, I think we got something. Because Segovia, I thought, looked great today. After Suarez got subbed off.
But look at the freedom to make that sort of decision, though. To be able to... No, the freedom that Mascherano has to, I mean, he's got the 2-point lead at that point. To be able to make that decision to put him in that place, to give him the freedom, it works out for Segovia and for the team.
Remember what I was telling you the last 2 episodes? I said for everybody that, and because a lot of people have been criticizing Messi, surprisingly. And yeah, he hasn't put up numbers, but I told you, I feel like the defense is just canceling him out pretty easily because Mascherano isn't helping him. If the opposing team is making it a point to take away your best player, your job as a coach is to figure out how to unlock your player again. And I felt like that's what Segovia in the center of the pitch did. All of a sudden, Messi, the last half hour, that's the best he's also looked over the last month. He finally had space to run. He had players to play with. Him and Segovia looked great right there in the middle of the pitch. And the give and go also led to that goal that you're about to talk about. Because that was a Segovia, right? Messi to Segovia, back to Messi, which Messi is stronger than he looks, by the way.
Yes. And the thing is, he commands his space. You know, like the way Luis Suarez anticipates and boxes out for the ball, like he uses his body very well. Messi, the same. That give and go with Segovia where he kind of flicked it up and then it kind of fell right in his space. He kind of toggled it a little bit and then smashed it. That was a beautiful play. And I think because you have 2 of our better ball handlers doing the handling in that space, it worked out well for us. And it didn't center us, really. If Suarez was on the pitch, I don't know if that play would have happened.
If Suarez was on the pitch, Segovia's still playing out wide.
Yes, correct.
Now, they could change things up. They could play a 4-4-2. You know what I was thinking? They could play a 5-3-2. They could play with 5 on the backs. If they're going to start pushing the fullbacks up higher like they did today, you can play with 3 center backs and have Jordi Alba and Chelo or Frey push up on the right side.
Yeah.
You could still have Busquets, Bright, and Segovia in the middle of the pitch with Messi and Suarez up top. Like, you could do different things. But Segovia, from what I saw today, that's what I waited to see from him. And we've seen it a little bit when Messi was out and he was playing as that 10.
Yeah.
But seeing Messi and him in the center of that pitch, I thought that looked amazing. Having Segovia play behind Messi, I thought was ideal. And that is one of the best ways to unlock Messi, I think. And I think that, in my opinion, even though we scored 3 goals in the first half, I think the last Suarez came off in the 58th minute. So the last 30 minutes,
he came off at the 58th.
I think is the best. I thought we only scored 1 goal, but I still liked what I saw that last half hour more than I saw the first hour.
Well, and I
that's
think
not a knock on Suarez. It was just a coincidence that's when they gave Segovia the freedom to go centrally.
Well, and I think that's the issue that happens with both Segovia and a player like Kremaki, where you put him out wide and you lose him. You fill a space with nothingness. Whereas if you put them in the center, especially Segovia, with how well he handles pressure, you're gonna be able to unlock a lot of other opportunities. But if you always have, I mean, that's the issue. That's a coaching issue.
Well, look, but that's where it comes to that. I don't know how to take this. Does this mean that Mascherano is like, did he get the wake up call and now he's experimenting? Are we gonna see something different next week in Minnesota? Minnesota's a lot better than the Red Bulls, by the way. The Red Bulls were a get right game. Like, this is the perfect opponent right now because they aren't very good. Like, they were the perfect team to kind of get that losing streak out of the way. But Minnesota is a good squad.
It's a good squad. Minnesota, I do know that they scored a couple goals.
Minnesota, they beat Austin FC. Outside of that Vancouver loss, by far the best defense in the league. They lost. Minnesota beat Austin 3-0. Minnesota is a good team. Vancouver, Minnesota, and Colorado, I want to say, are the top 3 teams in the West.
Top 3 teams in the West, easily.
And we got Minnesota in Minnesota next week. Julian Gressel revenge game. So
I'm sure. I think, if I'm not mistaken,
I'm curious. Go ahead.
I think he had I don't know if he had an assist or a score in that game.
Oh, he played.
But yes, he played. They had his face on the promo. I don't know if you guys saw, like, his face was on the promo.
He subbed in the 64th minute.
Yeah. They had his face in the promo. Like, if he was like a god in the back of the field, like in sort of an old. Yeah, for sure. It's going to be great for him. And Taylor played. I don't know if he started. Oh, Soccer Daddy's saying, yep,
he
Taylor
played
played
in the 61st minute.
Yeah. So that's coming down the pike. So aside from those 2 substitutions, well, we had Segovia come in, Kremaki come in, Maxi Falcon come in for Weigand. And then we already discussed the Messi goal. 73rd minute, Alan Obando comes in for Fafa. So, and the last substitution, Redondo in for Yannick Bright.
One thing that I noticed, once Bright got off the pitch, Busquets was dropping really far back. It looked like he was the center back. I wasn't sure if that was like a 3 in the back type deal that they were doing, and they were playing like the 3-5-2 or the 5-3-2, however you want to look at it. But Busquets was really far back once Bright came off. But Obando, I mean, he looked okay. I mean,
Obando,
he only had what?
Obando to me didn't do anything. He didn't really do much. And I feel bad because, like, I guess the backup striker looks to be like expected to put in goals when you have your opportunities, which is granted. But he didn't do much. And Mike V says it right here. Busi doesn't trust Redondo. Doesn't trust him.
Busquets was basically playing as a third center back. That's what I saw after Bright got off the game.
That's sad. The fact that he can't trust his compañero, like the guy that's supposed to be working with him. Like,
what do you think's to do with Toto Aviles?
I don't know, bro. You know what I think is very sketchy? That Toto Aviles didn't get subbed in and Ian Frey didn't get subbed in. What is going on?
Chelo came off. That's right.
Mascherano is trusting Lujan way more than I had ever anticipated anyone in human existence trusting Lujan.
And just real quick, I didn't think he looked bad, but I mean, he didn't do much. He had like 10 minutes out there, so I really can't say too much about Obando. For those on audio, Soccer Daddy said no one passed to Obando. He had 5 touches the whole game.
73rd minute he came in. He played 20 plus minutes.
17 minutes. 20 minutes. He had 5 touches only. So, I mean, it's hard to judge him when he only has 5 touches on the ball.
And Stancy, Lujan played better today. Mr. Krabs, Lujan was not that bad, actually.
But like, you know what?
Are we going to keep grading him in this curve? Like, are we going to do that?
Well, what I was going to say is he didn't look bad. But I think that Christoph, anybody that plays today against the Red Bulls off attack, doesn't look bad. because the Red Bulls don't put a lot of pressure on you. If it's not Forsberg and Bright is shutting down Forsberg for you, the back line isn't getting pressured. And I think that everybody looked good because Forsberg is that attack. They scored what on that set? And they were getting a lot of set pieces, by the way. It felt like they had like 30 free kicks in that first half. It felt like it was free kick after free kick. But for the most part, yeah, Luhan didn't look bad, but Luhan also didn't have a lot to do.
I'm wondering, are we going to keep grading Luhan on this scale of like lower than mid, where it's like, well, if you hit this little, point right here, you didn't do so bad, and it's acceptable. Like, it's not acceptable when you have Maxi Falcon, you have Noah Allen, you have Ian Frey back there, you have Weigand, who's competing steadily with Ian Frey. You have David Martinez, who was a starter before Luhan. You have, did I miss Falcon? I think I said him.
Miss Toto.
Yeah, and you have Toto. What are we doing with Luhan? Like, yes, he's this right back backup, but he's like a backups.
Upco just said that he would like to see Frey be the backup defensive midfielder.
He did that towards the end.
Do you think Toto Aviles isn't playing as center back because now he's the default backup center defensive midfielder?
No way, bro. No way.
Isn't that what he played the last time he was on the pitch?
We're going to do that? Mascherano's doing that? There's no way. No way.
I can't see how.
Is that your hypothesis?
Yeah, I'm starting to think that might be.
So
it.
you think he has
because
now
outside of Busquets, Bright, and Redondo, the only other person we have that apparently plays that position, because we thought that once Bright or Redondo get injured, what happens? We have our double pivot of Busquets and the other one, whoever the other one is, and then we have nobody to sub in afterwards.
David Ruiz, when he comes back from injury, is that guy.
Okay, but he's not there. So I don't think so. I don't think so. I think that maybe that's what's happening with Toto. Now that I think about it.
Happy birthday! Thank you. And I'm trying to learn ball, Florida man. Okay. Luhan was good with his feet as center back. Like, guys, are we gonna grade him on this scale?
So
that's it.
I think that's what's happening with Toto, honestly.
So, in my opinion, if we're going to talk about Toto being in that sort of group of CDMs, I mean, you're taking away a solid piece from the center back role just to kind of fill him into this group that doesn't necessarily need him.
And Bruni's saying he's just happy he didn't play bad. Yeah, absolutely. Even if it's a team that isn't good, you can still make mistakes, and he didn't make any mistakes. So yeah, technically yes, that is good. But I still think I would rather see Toto Aviles.
This is acceptable, Stancy. See, you're reasonable. This is being we're just saying he's improving, Chris. It's not like he's a great player. I get it, and that's what Danny says too. He's okay. He's doing good. But like
against the Red Bull, yeah.
But he's okay, and like I get it. But like Luhan, when we talk about Cello, I feel like it's acceptable because he's risen up to match as best as he can Ian Frey's performances to fight for that right back position. I feel like Luhan hasn't shown enough to be able to be like, you know what? I want this guy as one of my center backs.
Well, I will tell you, I don't want to see Luhan next week. Watch him up there with Aluasi and Yamboa running at his ass.
Oh no!
They run out there with two strikers up top, and those are big boys. That'd be the perfect time to have Toto Aviles on there. But whatever, we'll talk about that throughout the week because that's a big game coming up next week. So your thoughts on the second half and then the game in general?
Well, I mean, the game in general, I was super happy with it. Obviously, 4-1. I think I predicted, if I'm not mistaken, either 3-1 or 4-1.
3-2. I think you said 3-2.
I did. I think I know. I know. I said a high number.
Yeah,
I don't know if I said.
You predicted a lot of goals. That's for sure.
Yes, I want goals, and we needed goals, and this is a good game. Listen, I said it both on the English and Spanish show. We needed goals. For everyone to feel happy, we needed goals. This isn't going to take away the pain from losing against Vancouver, but we need some goals.
Mm-hmm.
We couldn't do that one goal deal for this game. We couldn't.
Well, we needed what we needed was a win.
Yes.
That's what we needed desperately, and we got it, which is good. I'm glad that they got the 4. I'm still up in the air because I don't know what Mascherano's doing. Are we still playing that 4-2 3-1 where we're playing now? We're gonna play wide with it though. Are we gonna go with a 4-3-3 now that we've seen how Segovia and Messi link up and have Segovia as an 8 playing behind Messi? Like, what are we doing? That's what I'm really curious about. What I do like, and I will give Mascherano credit for, is that he's not gonna keep trying the same thing over and over again. I mean, he should have changed it much earlier, right? Because playing like this, maybe things end up different against Chicago, Toronto, Vancouver, Dallas, But I mean, better late than never, as they say.
Well, I want to just mention something here, and I'm just going to bring up the starting 11 again for a moment here. Dennis Lopez says, "Don't worry, Danny. Mascherano doesn't know what he's doing either." That's very good. Look, the one thing I hope that Mascherano can kind of focus on is he had Bright start and come off later in the game around the 78th minute, and we still scored 4 goals. I think this whole idea of bringing Redondo in to give us more offense needs to be thrown out the window because it gives Busquets the opportunity to play up and play comfortably. So Bright, the fact that he started, I hope will help, like you're saying, help Mascherano understand, like, maybe I need to do things a little differently. Fafa also helps stretch the field. Not Segovia starting. Fafa did. Now Segovia coming off the bench, if Mascherano decides to switch it up, keep Segovia somewhere in the middle, and then split other people, great. That's another thing that I hope that he takes a focus on. Bright and Fafa, both of them. As far as Weigand, like I said, it's so far gotten to a point where you can't be able to clearly say, Weigand, you lost that role. So
Messi is asking, will Messi go to Minnesota? I don't see why he wouldn't.
Yeah, why would he not? Why would he not? I mean, this is still important games, like these regular season games. I mean, I get it's Minnesota.
But he doesn't have like a summer tournament to get ready for, right? Like at this point, I'm assuming his whole focus is on the MLS. Now,
Everybody's all in on MLS.
That we have Minnesota on Saturday, and then we have San Jose 4 days later in San Jose on a Wednesday. That one he might not go to. He's not making 2 West Coast trips in 4 days.
Look at that. 2 ex-players. Gressel and then Joseph. Oof.
But that one, I don't know. I don't know if he goes. Maybe he does. Maybe he doesn't. But I'm pretty sure he'll go to Minnesota. The San Jose one, I think that one's a toss-up. I don't know if he'll go to San Jose on the middle of the week. But I do think he'll go to Minnesota. And that's a big game. That's a big game.
You got the week of the X's this week.
All right, Chris. Standouts.
So the standout to me was Noah Allen. Allen, I'm going to go with the standout because he had a lot of key blocks in the first half that I saw. He was a standout 1,000% to me out of all of the 11.
Okay. Well, remember, you can choose more than one. I'm going to go Cello, Allen, Bright, Messi, and Segovia.
Wow, you're going with a lot of standouts. I mean, if I was to go out with standouts, I'd probably go with Allen, Weigand. They stood out to me. And Bright, obviously. But like Bright, it's like a standout is like, you kind of didn't expect it, but you expected it. Like they really made it.
But they stand out to you. They pop out the screen at you. Like he stood out to me this game. And I think Weigand, Allen, Bright, Messi, and Segovia. And I know it's weird to say Messi, but this is the best Messi's looked in over a month.
Fafa also stood out. Okay. Yes. So I mean, look at this. Fafa.
You saw the difference on the left side now that we're playing out wide. The thing is, and I'm not taking anything away from Fafa, but I think that it showed how different things were but because we were playing out wide. And I think that also has a lot to do with the fact that whoever was playing out wide was allowed to play out wide. But Fafa did his thing out there. So he had the goal and the assist.
I want to bring this up. Vice Rosa asked, are you guys still going to do the pregame videos without a guest? We only did the Red Bulls without a guest because we were in depressed mode, and I was listening to pool hall music. Like,
I did.
What is it?
We didn't want to talk to anybody.
Yeah.
I like Creed.
I love Creed. Are you kidding me? That's my guilty pleasure. Pool hall music. Give me that all 24/7.
We've been doing it. This is our third season, always having a guest. And it's very rare that we don't. And we're gonna have one also. We're gonna get Lunacy. They're the podcast that we usually get from Minnesota on the MLS show. That's another thing that since we do the MLS show, we've gotten to know a handful of podcasters from every city. So we usually have a lot of people to choose from. So but we're gonna get the Lunacy podcast to join us this week. Nickelback's also
Nickelback. I love Nickelback. Wow.
Yeah.
A lot of people hate those two bands.
I like Nickelback. I also like Coldplay though. And people don't seem to like Coldplay.
Oh, I love Coldplay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I forgot to say. Oh yeah. So that was a one-time thing. We'll have guests on from Minnesota this week, San Jose next week, probably Fabian, usually our San Jose guy, and then Orlando the week after. The game after that will be good.
Dennis says Cello had a low FOP mob score, tied for third worst.
Okay. Now,
Dennis,
do you agree with it though? Because we look at those scores just for the heck of it, but you gotta go with the eye test, and you can't tell me that he looked poor. Yeah, but he had the third lowest, but everybody was really high. Like his score is a 7.3.
That's not bad.
No,
right? That's not bad on the scale that you guys love to do. Like, that's not bad. Get out of here.
Who do you think was the lowest, Chris?
Who do I think was the lowest? Obando.
Jordi Alba.
Wow.
Yeah, but I mean, again, everybody did pretty well. So,
fun fact, Mike V. I actually met Donald
was the lowest. Obando was the lowest, but he only touched the ball 5 times. So, like, what else to expect?
Yeah. What are you gonna give him? Like a 5.5?
Yeah.
So who gets your que pena? Are you gonna pick out of the starters only, or are you gonna go with a que pena? Who's your que pena? Who's your que pena? Chat. Put it out there. And Florida Man is hitting it where it hurts. Campena award goes to Lucho Suarez's Selly.
That's a good one. I can't think of one. Who could possibly get that?
Would have been Messi if not for the goal.
No, Messi looked great the last hour.
That's strong, though, Rohan.
The reason I said that he stood out, if there was a way, and maybe there is, to like just make it a black screen where you just see like digital figures playing the game, and you don't see names or faces or anything, or numbers or faces or anything, and you just see Messi would stand out to you. When he gets the ball at his feet, he stands out to you. He creates. And if he doesn't create, he's trying to create. Messi stands out to you. I don't see like people that were like, oh, he's had such a horrible month. Yeah, he hasn't done great because he's been draped all over. But whenever he gets the ball, he makes a difference. I don't know. It's really I'm gonna have a really hard time to ever say that Messi isn't balling when when he gets the ball, man, it's just magic in my mind, in my opinion.
And Blake Keitlinger is saying Lujan watched their goal go right by him. So he's picking
but everybody was watching that goal though.
That's right. It was a far post.
Yeah.
Yes.
Everybody thought that it was either going to go over the bar or wide, and everybody just kind of just stared at it. I'll go Redondo. I didn't think Redondo looked good today, even though he didn't play much. But if I have to pick somebody, I'm going to go Redondo.
So I'm going to go with Lujan. And this is going to sink. And you're going to give me the he didn't look bad? Like the chat is? Like you guys, the chat?
They
You know
didn't.
bad? You know bad? Okay, so I'll tell you a reason why I'm picking him. One, super mid as hell. Number two, there was a two series of plays where they were attacking the supporters groups, the supporter section, and there were two series of plays where we got shot. Well, we didn't get shot, but they shot an attempt, missed wide, and Lujan could have been in the right place to defend it, and he wasn't. And
Hey, Chris, be
Ustadi
careful
looked
with
at
what
him.
you say in the next couple seconds, because whatever you say in the next couple seconds are going to be the last words you speak in your 30s.
Well, I just want to say, basically, he kind of screwed the pooch. So that's it. Lujan sucks. Stop rating him in such a mid-ass freaking scale with you guys. What are we doing?
That's how we're ending our 30s.
That's how we're ending our 30s. Fuck Lujan.
Happy birthday, Chris. It's midnight. Happy birthday,
you.
sir. Happy
Midnight.
40.
Oh my goodness. It's a disaster.
That's it.
Now you can all tell me, may the 4th be with you, you fucking clowns. You fucking Star Wars. I haven't even started watching the damn movie.
Be careful. I heard that once you hit 40, that's when you have to sit slowly because you might sit on yourself.
What? That's what?
Mm-hmm.
That's what? That's terrible. That sounds
That's what I hear.
horrible.
Good luck.
Oh my, get out of here, Mr. Krabs. May the 4th be with you. You guys, I am not 45, Mo Fahrul, okay? I'm not.
I wonder do you remember how you brought in your 30s?
What years? 2015.
2015.
Shit. No, I don't remember what I was doing when I fucking turned 30.
Ain't no way
no idea.
when you run your 30s that you think that you're going to bring your 40s talking soccer on a podcast.
Yeah. No, I did not. Not at all. Hell the fuck no. Hell the fuck no.
All right. So, man of the match.
Man of the match.
Other than Messi.
Oof. Man of the match. Other than Messi, I'm going to give it to...
I'll tell you. Apple gave it to Busquets. The Inter Miami, whatever the hell it is that they do, the
Royal Caribbean
match, gave it to Bright. So I'll let you know that those two were the ones that were given.
So they gave it to basically Busquets and Yannick Bright. Yep. Hold on, because I have my daughter calling me right now. Hey, Kristen.
Happy birthday!
Thank you. You're on the show, by the way, so don't curse or get me canceled.
Old. Oh, no curse?
Yeah, like don't. I mean, you could curse, I guess.
Well, no, I won't.
Okay.
Am I like on speaker?
Yes, you're on speaker. Yeah. I just told you. You're literally on the show right now. Like people are listening
Messi
to you.
carries, I guess. I don't know.
Thank you, Kristen.
I don't know anyone else but him, I guess. But and Campana, but he left.
Yeah, but Danny is a Campana hater big time.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. I don't know. He's a weirdo.
Yeah, he's boring. Is he 40 yet?
Is he 40? No, he's not. He's not 40 yet.
Oh, wow. You are.
Oh, thanks for the reminder there. Much appreciated.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
And the chat is saying, hello, Chris' daughter.
Chris' daughter.
Yes.
If only they knew that, like, my name is basically your name.
Yes, yes. All right, Kristen. Thank you so much.
Okay, bye. I love you.
I love you too. Bye. Nice. She gets the man of the match other than Messi.
There you go.
Yes. Hello, mini female Chris.
All right. We'll wrap it up so Chris can go be with his family and have fun. I said man of the match. You said who?
I'm going to go with Wagon.
Wagon. Okay.
Yeah,
that's a good choice. I'll go with Fafa. I thought Fafa made a big difference on the left side. Let me end it with this real quick before we go to final thoughts. What were your thoughts on Luis Suarez?
I think he played well. I think he facilitated when he needed to in the beginning of the game. I don't know. Mm-hmm. At the end of the game, he was kind of crappy, but I felt like the first half was a very efficient half. So,
all right. He had 31 touches, 3 touches inside the box. He wasn't bad.
I feel like he was efficient when he needed to. So
hopefully this starts a decent run because he saw the ball go to the back of the net. So hopefully things get going. 7 games in May. First one is a win. Last May was big for us. 7 games. So hopefully we can get a nice little streak going here. All right, Chris, final thoughts.
I'm happy to get this birthday win, and I'm happy to be able to enjoy the beginning of my birthday with you guys. Thank you guys so much for hanging tight with us here tonight.
Absolutely. Happy birthday, KBD. I hate you, even though I've known you since you were a teenager. But I appreciate you jumping on doing the show with me. And hopefully we're doing the same thing when we hit 50.
Yes, hopefully.
We'll see. All right. If you're listening on audio, we appreciate you listening all the way to the end. Please leave us 5 stars, comment, review, all that other good stuff. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you for watching all the way to the end. Please like, subscribe, share, tell your friends. And as always, for those of you in the chat, we appreciate you hanging out with us for the last hour and 5 minutes. Wishing Chris a happy birthday. And we'll be back on Monday talking to more Herons. So everybody enjoy Star Wars Day. May the 4th be with you. And we'll be back on Monday. So until the next one, have a good one.